Wow, it has been a minute since I have done a full-length video for you guys. So we're talking about the Mercedes today. Let's step inside the beast. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Car Rant. If you guys are new to the channel, we do builds, we do reviews, and we have candid conversations about cars. So if any of that interests you guys at all, go ahead, hit that subscribe button, and let's dive into the video. So for those of you who do not know what happened with the Supra and why I ended up selling the Supra and bought this car, let me give you a really brief synopsis of what happened. When I had the Supra, I did a bunch of modifications to the car. I did aftermarket downpipe and did some exterior stuff. But the part where I hurt myself was I bought a JB4 tuning system, or the piggyback tunes that you can buy, and installed it on my vehicle. And unfortunately, the tune pushed too much boost through my turbocharger. The fan wouldn't even spin. The turbocharger was pretty much dead. At the end of the day, I was just gonna fix it and call it a day. The car was out of warranty, so I unfortunately couldn't even get the turbo replaced out of warranty. So I was like, you know what, I'll fork over however much money it is to replace it and get a new one and all that stuff. I was just gonna do that and I wasn't gonna worry about it. And then the transmission in my Lancer decided to die and I was left with no vehicle. And at the time I was also considering to go to downsize to one vehicle anyway. And so when all of this happened, I was left with two non-functional cars. I started searching the web and just started seeing what could I purchase and what's out there for potential cars that I could use to replace the Supra and replace the Lancer. And so ultimately I found the C43, and this car has been nothing but absolutely incredible. Now, a lot of you might be thinking and even saying to yourself, this is going from the Supra to a C43 is kind of a downgrade. And if I was comparing the two cars by themselves, I would 100% agree. I would say, yes, going from a Supra straight to a C43 is a downgrade. However, for the purposes of me owning those vehicles, they're not comparable. When I had the Supra, I had the Supra as a secondary vehicle to my daily driver. The Supra was bought as a impractical car that wasn't meant to be daily driven. I was gonna just treat it kind of like as a weekend sports car. I'm not getting groceries with it. I'm not bringing people in it. I'm not transporting stuff. I'm not doing anything like that. It was meant to be just a stupid, impractical car that I could have some fun with. Ultimately, I went with this car because it had the best of both worlds. This is a four-door sedan. It's all-wheel drive, so I can drive this thing in the winter. It's roomy, it's spacious, I can transport stuff. I have had a blast not being able to put my base in the passenger seat of my car. I can actually throw it in the back seat of my car and have the front seat open still. It's a fantastic thing. It's making 385 horsepower. This car has it's not comparable in the sense of the torque numbers and whatnot to the Supra. The Supra will win against this car on a track. The Supra is lighter, it's more agile, it's rear-wheel drive. There's aspects of the Supra that this car cannot beat. But for the purpose of what this car is made for, I'm not expecting it to compete with the Toyota Supra. There's three letters that really pretty much answer all of your questions about why should I go with this. And it is AMG. Some people are gonna say, it's a fake AMG. It's not a hand-built V8 in a factory. It's not hand-built by the team. This is a V6 on the production line or whatever. This is where I defend the C43. AMG made this, AMG had a part in making the engine of the C43 what it is. At the end of the day, we have to ask ourselves, what makes an AMG, right? Is it the hand-built aspect of it? Because I completely agree, that's what makes it an AMG. However, we cannot negate the fact that cars like the CLA 45, the C43 AMG are not cars that are to be looked down upon because they aren't the V8s. I went with this car because, yes, it made similar power to the Supra and I was okay with that. And I really loved the exhaust and I loved the all-wheel drive capabilities, especially because I can drive it in the winter. And I loved the platform that it was on, regardless of if it was the V8 or if it wasn't. it is going to be some of the best quality performance and some of the best quality parts and best quality people working on those cars that you're going to find out there. When you pay for an AMG product, you're getting the AMG performance, but you're also getting the AMG quality. These engines are bulletproof. This V6 is, in my opinion, a bulletproof engine. I haven't put any power into this car. However, I have a very good friend of mine who has put power into his old C43. Now, he has the same generation I do, the W205. He just has the Mercedes, he has the coupe version of it, the 2-door, as opposed to my 4-door. And last time I remember, he had this car like stage 2, stage 3, making over 500 horsepower, making over 600 pound-feet of torque. And I got to drive this car, and this thing was absolutely incredible. And he was on stock internals. He didn't have to build anything in the engine. He didn't have to do anything. He didn't have to reinforce anything in the engine. All he had to do was bolt-ons and a tune, and you were good. He told me that he didn't have a single issue with his C43 when it was stock. And then he told me, furthermore, he didn't have a single issue with his C43 when he put over 500 horsepower and over 600 pound-feet of torque into that car. If you're gonna buy a Mercedes car and you don't know people that can can give you a break financially in terms of fixing issues on your car or servicing your vehicle, I would not go and purchase this car, because a Mercedes dealership is gonna rip you off 100%. Because at the end of the day, you're buying a Mercedes product, and yes, you're not just buying the car, but you're also buying the name. Mercedes as a brand wants to make sure that you know it, which also means that they're going to be charging you way more for literally every service that's out there. Now, I pulled the car outside for this next part because I'm about to dive into the interior of this car, and I want to show you guys just how good the quality of the interior of this car is, because in all honesty, I picked this car because of how good this interior was. I want to say this with the utmost respect to the Japanese car community. You guys just aren't it when it comes to interiors. In my opinion, this steering wheel is one of the best steering wheels that you can get in the industry. It has a great feel in the hands, the perforated areas for where your hands should be. Has great paddle shifters. These are metal shifters. It's a good quality. It's a good feel in the hand. I didn't think I was gonna like the column mounted shifter, but I actually do. This is actually pretty convenient, and I actually like doing this to go into drive. It's actually kind of nice. This has haptic touch right here. This little black square has haptic touch. I can go in here and I can use my thumb to scroll through any of the settings and modes that I want to. I love the fact that we have a digital dash. Now, you can also customize how your dash looks. You can go to the classic look, which is like your comfort setting, or for all the dentists and doctors out there that don't like going fast and just want a nice Mercedes, this is probably what you're looking at. You can put it in the sports setting, which is what I have mine in. I still like the view of a traditional analog looking dash. But if I wanted to go super fast and focus solely on performance, I have an AMG dash as well, which I can pull up pretty much only performance oriented things, so I have my boost gauge there anyway. I love the vents in this. I love this right here, okay? Textured buttons for my climate controls. These are traditional buttons here in piano black, but I absolutely love this analog clock. I like how there's cup holders up here and not on my right here where it would be on the Supra. I love that there's cup holders up here. Absolutely love it. And then also up here I can control all of my modes in here. My dynamic settings that I can control. So this goes up to my individual setting, which puts me straight into manual mode, turns on my adaptive suspension and my active, the stiffening of the suspension. And it also opens the valves for the exhaust system as well. I can also control my infotainment through this knob. I can go back, I can go home. My volume I can control from here. Auto start stop, I hate that function, get that out of here. And then also I have parking cameras as well. Again, this car is just super intuitive. I love it. I love every bit of it. I also love this right here. Obviously memory seats and the heated seat function. I love it, it's great. But then also, I absolutely love having the seat controls on my door. When you buy a Mercedes, this is what to expect. This is what you should be expecting when you're buying a luxury vehicle like a Mercedes. But let's head to the exterior. So I have the vehicle outside and we can actually talk about the exterior styling of the car and why I decided to go with it. First and foremost, for me, I didn't want something that was going to stand out or be too flashy in terms of the exterior. I wanted something a little bit more sophisticated, a little bit more classy. This is the 2020, so this actually is a facelifted version of the C43 that came out in like 2015, 2016. So there is a metal bar across the front grille. The Mercedes logo actually lights up at night, and there's a camera there as well. I have a front-facing camera, so that's actually really nice. Camera sensors and stuff. Headlights are really cool because this actually tracks with how you're steering. So if you turn right, the headlights are actually going to bias more to the right. And if you turn left, the headlights are going to bias more to the left. So honestly, it's a great safety feature, as well as something that's just really cool in terms of technology. 19-inch wheels all around, but this is a staggered setup. So you're looking at like 19 by 9.5, and then you're looking at 10 by 10.5, I believe, in the rear. Don't quote me, I think it might be 19 by 9 and then 19 by 10. But you're looking at 6 piston brakes in the front and 4 piston brakes in the rear. I love the way the taillights look, super sleek, super minimalistic, but they still look quite intricate and very well designed. But this diffuser right here is my absolute favorite. And aggressive diffuser, you have your exhaust tips, you have the quad exhaust tips, which I absolutely love. The one thing I'm not a big fan of, unfortunately, is the fact that these quad exhaust tips are just that, they're just tips. If you actually look inside, I don't know if I'm able to catch it or not, but if you look inside, you can see that there is just one exhaust. There's only one exhaust tip that's truly leading there. And then right here, yeah. These are both fake tips. Same thing on the other side. These are fake exhaust tips, unfortunately. However, if it makes you feel any better, because it makes me feel any better, the C63 also has fake exhaust tips. So yeah, that's just a Mercedes thing. So ladies and gentlemen, that is my Mercedes C43. And honestly, as much as I hate to see the Supra go, and as much as I hate to see the Lancer ultimately go once it's fixed, I'm super happy with my decision. I absolutely love this car. It is everything that I want in a ultimate daily driver. It's fast, it looks good, it has good reliability, the performance is incredible, and honestly, it doesn't hurt my budget. And so, with that being said, I plan on doing a lot to this car. I do plan on modifying it in some capacity and making an OEM plus build, obviously with some performance upgrades, but the exterior will mainly be an OEM plus build. And I'm really excited to take you guys along this journey with me and to really kind of showcase what we can do with a Mercedes C43. So what do you guys think? Was the Mercedes the right approach? Was it the right direction? Is this a true AMG car? Should I have gone with something else? Is there a better daily driver out there than this? Let me know what you guys think down in the comments, and we'll see you in the next video. Peace.